God said to Ezekiel, "Son of man, can these bones live?" You know, and I think for each and every one of us, myself included, I got to start answering some harder questions. Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, "Oh Lord God, you know." And if we'd be honest with ourselves, most of the time when the Lord speaks to us, especially as we begin to grow and get older in life, we start to say, "Oh God, no." And faith is the victory that overcomes the world. And it's with the shield of faith that we fight the wicked one and that we fight the opposition. And what happens is our faith begins to wane because things didn't go the way we thought they should go. We had a plan, and when it didn't produce, we didn't just lose the plan, we lost purpose. And we lost faith in God. And God speaks to the Son of Man. He speaks to you and I today, and he says, "Can these bones live?" There'd be no way you could look at that in a human, like with a human mind or a human understanding and say, "Oh yeah, those bones can live." That's where God changes our life. Because listen, we see things as they are. We fail to see things as they can be or will be. And as I've said, the hope of the nations is not a new government. The hope of the nations is the governor himself, Jesus Christ. The hope of the world is the Lord. Our hope is in you, O Lord. Our hope is in you. Read that through the Psalms as you go through that. A man despairing but choosing to hope. And listen, David wrote those Psalms thousands of years ago, and now he's living in the presence of the King. We see things as they are and not as they can be or will be. And what we all need in our life, and me included, listen, what we all need in our life is an "Oh Lord God, you know." Listen, I'm not giving you a yes, and I'm not giving you a no, and I'm not saying this is the way it needs to go, and I'm not saying it's up to me to do something with these bones, and I don't have to figure out a plan, and I don't have to carry the weight of this on my shoulders. When you look at the impossible, you need an impossible God, a God that can do the impossible, working in your life in ways that you cannot see, where your answer of faith becomes not even "Yes, Lord," but "You know, Lord." You know, Lord, and that's what counts. That's what we need in our life is a "You know, Lord." It frees you from the fear of feeling like you're always going to fail. It's not God bringing you to things and saying, "Do this for me," but it's God bringing us to things and saying, "I'm going to do this for you, and I'm going to do this through you." And you look at it and you say, there is no possible way in my human mind, my human understanding, my human strength that this can be accomplished. But what you can do is step into a faith realm and step into that faith place, and you can say, God, you know. God, you know. Listen, in the valley it seems dark and it seems like you're fighting some of the biggest battles you've ever fought in your life, but don't you know that many times that's when the breakthrough comes? Don't you know the enemy storms the gate the hardest when they feel like you're at the place of surrender? But we're not surrendering to the enemy. Who are we surrendered to? We're surrendered to the King of Kings. And listen, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but victory is of the Lord. And I am persuaded that nothing can come against me and prevail. Why? Because we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. My surrendering is not to the enemy. My surrendering is to the King. And listen, I can surrender while he fights, and many times my surrender is my fight. Because with surrender, what you need is you need acceptance. And with surrender, what you need is you say, "Lord, this thing is a blank show." Boy, I should have said it. It's a crap show. This thing makes no sense. Lord, this is a discombobulated mess. Lord, this is a freak show. And Lord, I don't know, but you know.